welcome to another episode of Bar Brunch. This is a special Bar Brunch today because it's my birthday weekend. Yay! Poppy, are you being a good girl and just hanging out? You want to say hi? Oh, she did her little leap to try and get on screen. Oh, kisses from Poppy. Kisses from Poppy. Poppy's a very good girl. She was very, very good at my birthday. Now, as a lot of you know, I've been doing a ton of. Oh, you want down? Okay. You don't like cameras? She doesn't understand the concept of cameras. She thinks that they're windows, so she sees me through them holding some other dog. And why am I holding some other dog? And now she's biting my sock. But anyway, as a lot of you know, on my actual birthday, I had a show. Yesterday I was supposed to have a show, but that got postponed because computer issues. And then I have two today. I have mine, this one. And then I also, yay! Can I show you? Yay! Yay! I have this one, and then I also have a live show after this. We're going to talk about it later. I'm also making cupcakes. I will talk while we're making cupcakes. But we also interviewing the Shakespeare Republic. The current season, All the Webs of Stage, is out. It's phenomenal. It's wonderful. We're going to talk all about that. Right now, let's get these cupcakes going. I'm doing box cupcakes today because I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I'm exhausted. My actual birthday, my best friend came over. He brought Applebee's fries, mozzarella sticks, and chocolate lava cake with ice cream, which was spectacular of him. He's an absolute champion. Kudos to Andy McCain. But he also had to sit around and just hang out for a bit because we were supposed to go to the costume store in Union Square that is shutting down. Costume store in Union Square is shutting down, and just like look around at stuff. I should not get the eggs out yet. What am I doing? We're supposed to go to the costume store, and then like that day or the day before, I was like, I still have a lot of editing to do for my show that is happening at 7 p.m. tonight. Yee! And I am nominated for a big award. I'm nominated for a big, big award. Chris, actually, could we run my link tree for a second? And we're gonna run that at the end of the show as well. But I'm nominated for a big award. The Young House, Theater Journal, Theater Review, all of that wonderful stuff. They are doing an awards show, and I'm nominated for an award. So that's fun. But yeah, if we could run my the link tree, yay! If you go to my link tree, which also we can post in the comments, that's like the top link is how to vote for me as a screen manager of the year, because I have screen managed over 120 shows during 2020. Just a bunch of people's. I was doing hashtag tech show on the internet. I've done a lot of show of kids. I love that show so much. I love Punchline Loading. Frigid Fridays. Anyone who's done Frigid Fridays, you know that I have screen managed for y'all. So vote for me because I'm cute. Where am I supposed to preset this oven to? Hello, 350. 350. I am cooking with fire here because, as a lot of you know from various previous episodes of Bar Brunch, I keep calling this my new oven, even though we've had it since October. But we also didn't have an oven for like 4 years. But my new oven is very hot. Very, very, very hot. You barely ever have to preset anything. Barely have to preset anything ever because it will just like right away. I'm preheating it right now just because I can. There's a lot going on. Also, there are other screen managers that you can vote for because you can submit multiple responses to that form. So if you don't have to like split the vote or anything, you can vote for multiple people. I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. All right, 3 eggins. 3 eggs. 3 eggs. Bam. So yeah, back to my life. On like my actual birthday day, I spent from 11 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. editing a 7 p.m. show. One thing that a lot of people did not realize is that they were all individual sketches that I was running individually, not like one long stitched together video that I could just run, because I do prefer to do it that way. Not only is it easier in case it comes down to crunch time, but also if I feel like rearranging the order in the middle of the show, or if something goes wrong with one of the sketches, I don't have an entirely like bunk video that I just can't play. I just have to shift some stuff around, figure out what went wrong with that video, and we're good to go. I prefer that. Other people prefer to have one long video. All up to y'all. A cup of water. There's my measuring cups. Okay. No, don't fall out. Don't fall out. It's chaos in here. You can see it a little bit, but like it's chaos. Oh, speaking of, by the way, you guys want to see the tiniest cute? No, a prescription. This is also where we keep our drugs. You want to see the tiniest, cutest cheese grater in the world? Thanks, Sheen. It's like, it's so baby. It's so tiny. I love you. I don't need it for anything. I just saw it and I wanted to show y'all. A cup of water. A cup of water. Pour you out. All right. Now they say a third cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to be using, I can't believe it's not butter instead, because I prefer it. I prefer the flavors. I'm just basically going to use the rest of this tub, honestly. There's like not a lot left in. There's a third of a tub left in here. I'm going to say that's about a third of a cup. I just decided, because it's my birthday cupcakes. I can do what I want for my birthday cupcakes. Yeah, okay. Me making sure that nothing has gone terribly wrong. Speaking of something has already gone wrong, we can't find our pot holders. So while we are, while these are cooking, Chris and I are probably going to be spending some time together on screen looking for pot holders. So that's going to be fun. We have these little like red silicone pot holders. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed. They're very wonderful. And for some reason, they've run away from home and we don't really know why. So that's horrifying for us. That our pot holders, when we are using our scarcity oven, have run away. I'm going to mix this up. It's going to be as mixed up as my feelings right now. I'm going to actually take it away from the oven because, oh my God, it's hot. It's so hot. I'm going to be back here and I'm just going to yell. Well, that's fine. Midsummer Night's Dream, not Dream, Stream, Midsummer Night's Stream, the sequel to On Your Hamlet. That is actually going to be premiering tomorrow. Unfortunately, it missed the cutoff to be reviewed in time for the Young House Theater Review Journal, all that fun stuff. I keep calling it Young House Theater Review because they do reviews, but I'm fairly certain it's Young House Theater Journal. Again, correct me if I am wrong, though, because my brain is mush from editing so many videos. It was supposed to happen on Saturday. Computer issues abound that I was too exhausted to deal with because I was doing a bunch of other stuff. Postponed it to Monday, but on Monday is our Hudson Rockford's birthday, so it's still technically a birthday show, so it's fine. It's a really fun one. I'm very excited for it. For a lot of people who saw On Your Hamlet, you will know that basically the bad guys in the show kind of won. So the bad guys in that show of Hamlet were trying to make Hamlet not happen so they could poach actors for their own separate production. And this show deals with the fallout of all of that. Tiny. Young House Theater Awards, February 21st. I am viewing this on a tiny phone, so I have to get up very close. But yes, yeah, someday I'm going to do this on a tablet. The first few episodes I tried to do on a computer, but it was very hard to keep everything plugged in and stuff and like move that shit around. There's always 2022. There is always 2022. 2020 was already a wash. If I'd known better, I would have gotten more cameras and stuff, maybe invested in Zoom, but you know, hindsight is always 2020, so. I prefer to mix my batters by hand. I don't know. Because I have a cake mixer. What are we doing? Hudson Rockford birthday on Monday. Woo! Hey, Dylan. You're not watching, but we love you. Dylan also got me this really cool skull mug. This thing that you see in the back of all of my episodes, and also you see me sometimes drink from, this was from Dylan. Dylan's awesome. Dylan plays the himbo of the show because he is the himbo of my company. He's much smarter than his character, and still just as hot and likable. So, ladies. Anyway, yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow, according to Facebook. Anyway, I don't know. Andy, did Andy comment? Oh, you like my ensemble? Yes, it's very like either Easter Wednesday Addams or like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina background character. I'm like super about it. Also, Andy, thank you so much for watching and supporting. Andy, I don't know if you were here when I was bragging about you, but I did tell everyone that you brought over all kinds of amazing foodstuffs for my birthday, and it was wonderful. Everyone got to see some of it on my Instagram, but the chocolate lava cake, oh, it was amazing. And also, you were very patient and awesome, just like waiting around for me to be done. Mixing it up, mixing it up, mixing it up. Okay. Yay. Oh my god. What else is going on in my life right now? There's so much happening in my life right now that I honestly forget a lot of stuff. Tonight, I have a show tonight. I have a show tonight. For those of you who missed seeing my first ever solo show, I need more butter. I need more butter. For those who missed my first ever solo show, it is back. It is back for yet another round. Genny is full of woe. Because I am. Do we have more butter? Do we have butter? We better have butter. Do we not have butter? We have a butter. I found a butter. I found a butter. We go through butter like crazy, especially with all of the HelloFreshes and stuff. Nancy Drew has a Food Network show. Yep, that's me, just hiding, just searching for all the stuff, all the clues, all of the things. Thank you, Andy. Yes, congrats to me. Also, thank you to Peter Michael Marino for a show of kids and Saturday Lawson of Punchline Loading for nominating me for screen managing stuff. I really appreciate both of y'all so much. Anyway, for anyone who's questioning what I'm doing right now, I hate cupcake liners. I hate them so much. It is a waste of paper. It is a waste of cake. Not doing it. So what I do instead is I butter the inside of my cupcake tins, and then they just come out. They just come out. This is also quite a process, because if I do it too soon, then the butter gets all like melty, and we want it like in there. Like in there. Andy, if you're still watching, what HelloFresh foods did you get this week, by the way? For those who don't know, Andy is my bestie, and Poppy also loves him to death, so that's adorable whenever they see each other. Yes, we love Punchline Loading and Show of Kids. Yay! Oh, I gotta sneeze. No, it went away. Just kidding. But yay, we love them. I have so much HelloFresh up in my cabinets right now because 1 week someone took our box away from us. So HelloFresh refunded us, sent us an apology box, and then sent us our box for next week. And then we got our stolen box back. So it was actually an attempted redeliver, but they sent it to the wrong building. Someone wasn't being nice. I actually asked HelloFresh. I was like, why do I have so much? But yeah, we have so much HelloFresh now. We had the best like burger in the world yesterday. It was a pepper jack cheese stuffed and like loaded on top burger. So that's great. And I know you're not getting your first like meal until sometime later this month. Your first 5 meals. Andy has a 5-meal plan. What are you getting? I don't know what we're getting. It's one of those things where I'm kind of obsessed with looking over my HelloFresh calendar. Usually by the time it's the next week has rolled around, I can a month in advance plan out like substitute stuff on the HelloFresh website on like what I would like to eat instead. What I'd like to eat instead is this. I always try and get burgers with. Yes! Andy, you just got a new friend. Gonna replace me as your bestie. Listen, girls with mozzarella sticks, okay? Ooh, mozzarella stuffed caprese burger. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Fully loaded pork taquitos. Ha! lobster-filled ravioli and shrimp. I don't like seafood, so I'm not going to take that one away from you. Spicy maple chicken and mango tango chicken tacos. Oh my God, Andy. You won't be able to get me out of your apartment. I'm going to be like, can I come over and maybe cook? No, you don't have to share your food with me. I will never force you to take food away from yourself to feed me. All right. Batter up. This is going to be an extra long kind of cooking segment today. Usually we keep it a little shorter, but our interviewees are from down under. So there's a bit of a time difference there. So we have extra time here to get things going. Also, it's my birthday weekend, and also it's my show, so I can just kind of do what I want. I can do what I want. My new. So yeah, I'm just spooning these out into the buttered things. Usually I do 1 spoonful per thing, 1 big old spoonful. The only thing that the big spoons are good for, in my opinion, I usually like to use the tiny spoons. It makes food feel like even more food because it's like smaller bites of a lot of food. I don't know. I prefer tiny spoons because then I trick my brain into thinking I'm eating twice as much, which I enjoy. Yeah, the big spoons, well, emotionally, I like the concept of shoveling food into my mouth. I don't want to shovel food into my mouth. So food is all yours, Andy. All yours, Andy. You can go, I'll cook it for you if you're ever having a lazy day, but I will not be eating any of it. So you have all the fun with that. For people who like seafood, I'm sure it sounds delicious, but I was like, maybe not for me. Maybe not for me. Maybe not for me. Okay. So thank you, Andy, so much for watching. I really appreciate that. Andy is a super busy person, usually doing all kinds of stuff. He's a director at Real Arc. He is also one of the actors at Real Arc, and they're doing a lot of socially distant shoots right now, super COVID safe, all that stuff. He's a COVID compliancy officer. He lives with 3 very adorable dogs, Moose, Link, and Oreo. So, like, Andy's very busy, and I feel very honored to have him in the virtual audience right now. Also, if you are ever looking to boost up your acting reel a little bit, please contact Andy about Real Arc, because he knows all of the rates, he knows all of the stuff, and if you request him as a director, you are going to get an amazing scene, because Andy is an amazing director. Are there nominations for directors still up? No, I'm so kidding. I know that you have all that stuff covered, y'all. All that stuff covered. I can already tell this one right here is going to need a little more zhuzh compared to the rest. Compared to the rest. Wow, I'm taking my sweet time with this. So yeah, after this, you're going to see Chris and I look for the pot holders because we still don't know where they actually went. Then we're going to show off some stuff that I got for my birthday from all of my wonderful friends. We're going to talk a little bit more about what you're going to see on Monday and also this evening. And then we're going to get into the interview with our lovely friends from down under, the Shakespeare Republic. All a bunch of stage stuff is really wonderful. You're going to see a little trailer for it later, but really go watch the whole thing because it's wonderful. There also, there's a lot. I don't want to give away a lot. There's stuff that I know that you don't, and we're going to talk about it in the interview, I promise. But, yeah, all right. I'm going to consider you good. Well, I would say I would consider you good enough, but this one needs more love. I can tell. I can tell. Okay. I'm going to put you all over here for right now. You're going to get a little bit out of the way. I'm going to scream and not burn myself. No. Okay. Set a timer. All right. Woo! Now, I also need a birthday shot right now. Thank you so much, Saturday Lawson and Kevin Gonzalez of Punchline Loading, for sending this over to me. And also, thank you to Umbreon, your little cat. I love our little cat. I'm just going to fill this with some alcohol right now and take a shot for my birthday. No! Maybe I shouldn't do that. No! The fridge door hit my tripod is what happened. Hey, I love colorful alcohol. We have my kinky blue vodka in honor of Blue the Mime, and also Bubbles for, maybe I took a shot already. Listen, I should have. All right. It says happy birthday on it. It's so cute. Yeah. Bottoms up, y'all. Woo! All right. I gave Andy a taste test of our Kinky Blue liqueur when he was over here on Friday, and he was just like, "What? This is so strong, Jenny. How do you do this? I can't do this." Yeah. Yeah. Our lovely tech, Chris, would you like to come over here and help me look for pot holders?
I found alternates.
You got alternates?
There's one right in front of you on the.
Okay, but we gotta kill some time now.
Oh, we gotta kill time?
Yeah.
Well, I found alternates, but I did not find alts or turnips.
Alts or turnits.
I do not know which.
Neither an alt nor a turnit.
I don't understand this concept of what just happened here.
It is. It's strong alcohol. It is. I like it. It tastes like so many different wonderful things. Should I distract while you open those, because that's gonna be chaos in here? You can't see. You can't see. That's where all of our HelloFresh stuff is stored. You can't see back there. You can't see back there. Oh no. I know we've already checked back there, but like just in case. Is it maybe up by like the pots and pans or something?
Maybe.
Is that stupid to ask?
Well, just go to Sherlock Holmes when the obvious seems wrong, go with the.
Go with, yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Obviously I don't know quotes. I don't know.
Oh, no.
It's not any of the obvious stuff.
It's not in any of the obvious. Poppy, did you sell them for money? For everyone who saw my Facebook status earlier, Poppy understands the concept of money vaguely, and that she tried to give me $1 for a cupcake that she was not allowed to have. Poppy, did you get that $1 from selling our stuff? Did Poppy get that $1 from selling our stuff? Poppy, answer me. Look me in the eyes, at least. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Nancy Drew. I mean, we have the alternates. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna have to use them because we're gonna find them the minute this is over.
We are.
But that's about all we get. So that was a
Futile.
Look
Look how good she's being. I mean, she's good all the time. But look how good she's being. Look how good you're being. That's because you're staring at the other dog on the screen and you have no idea what's happening. Poppy, do you want to work for some money? No? You want down? All right. Poppy's not your whore, okay? Yes. So other things that I've gotten, by the way. Somebody sent me this whole box of treasures. One of my favorite things in there is a Mr. Mime that I haven't opened yet, but I'm gonna open now. A Mr. Mime. And by the way, in honor of this little Mr. Mime doll, I'm gonna be using blue frosting and pink frosting. But yeah, because Saturday is part of my mime company as well as part of Chemical X. But yeah, no, Mr. Mime, and has blue hair, like my character has blue hair. By the way, the debate is strong on whether this is hair or whether this is part of the Pokemon. I know in the Detective Pikachu movie, it was kind of shown to be part of the Pokemon. But does anyone have any strong feelings on this? Either way. I also got like a cute little blanket, a squeak toy for Poppy. I'm gonna show you all something really cool though. Yay! Yay! I'm going over here, and then I'm gonna come back. Yay! I'm actually gonna bring this too. Hey, this was actually for Christmas, but my grandma got me this Mean Girls Burn Book eyeshadow palette. which I love so much. It has like a little mirror in it. It has all of these wonderful shades with wonderful names. They're adorable. Also, Chris for Christmas as well, from Grandma Joan. Hello, Grandma. I believe she's watching. Maybe. I don't know. She doesn't have to watch. You watch every week. You don't have to watch if you don't want to. She also got Chris this little Sherlock Holmes one, which also has a little mirror in it, and also has all of these adorable little shades. They're both from Storybook Cosmetics. They're wonderful. We should be happy about that. There were also other things that we got, but I can't get them within arm's reach right now. Chris, since we haven't, what? Ryan Reynolds is so yummy. Yes. Chris, since we weren't able to send Fran's present yet, should we show it here? Fran's Christmas present. Because I have one in arm's reach. There's other stuff that we know, Fran, you've gotten from us, but there's two things that we need to send. One, we haven't even gotten it yet, but it's on the way. The other one, we're going to show you right now, because it's over here. It's over here. Oh my God. And then we're going to send it soon, because we barely ever go outside. I mean, we go outside for like dog walkies and stuff, but ta-da! Yay! You're a lady! You're a fancy lady! Turn me around, make you a fancy lady! Lady! Yay. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. I don't want to overcook my things. Again, my oven is very strong. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. And then while actually our trailer is playing, I'm gonna take them out, ice just like a couple, and then we're gonna go over there and have a little interview. I basically just don't want to hold y'all up for so long because let's be honest, y'all ain't here to see me. Y'all are here to meet new, fun, interesting Shakespeare people, because that's what this show is about. It is about, oh, would you like to show off your mime one as well? Chris got, all of the mimes got these for Christmas as well. A lot of you have probably seen mine as well on the internet, but this one is the one that we got for Chris. If anyone has seen the mime show, you'll know that this is perfectly legitimate for Chris's character. Yeah, we've done a bunch of painful stuff. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. So, a fun little change that is going to be happening to this show, just so everyone is aware. Yay! Yeah, we did. We did. And there's also one other thing that we got you that isn't even, like, here yet. But we got it, so. Anyway, one little change is going to be happening to this show. Oh my God, it's my thing. An official ambassador for those paintings. I should, right? Pay me. No, they're wonderful people, and I love them so much, and they're so wonderful to work with. Lady Fran, yes, Lady Fran. It's always great when things work out. But yeah, all the mimes got them at. You should check out the Silent but Deadly Instagram, because a collage of all of the mimes as royals is up there, and it's really fun and cool. But anyway, a change that's happening to this show. We're going to be slightly opening it up a little bit. While it is still going to be a focus predominantly on Shakespeare shows, anyone who considers themselves to be a bard is also going to be invited to come on the show and talk about their project. So anyone who considers themselves to be a writer, or if they are in a Dungeons and Dragons podcast and they are a bard character, you are welcome to be on the show and plug your projects. Again, it's still going to be predominantly Shakespeare themed because that's like the vibe, but at the same time, I know so many people who are doing so many cool things, and I consider them all to be bards. So let's open it up. Let's be a little more loosey-goosey. So I'm going to take these suckers out of the oven, and then I'm going to ice them while this trailer is happening. And hopefully by the time that the trailer is done, I will have at least iced like 3 or 4, and then we're going to be talking. We'll see what happens. Please take a look.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention.
Experts warn us that the global numbers of this plague are likely much higher than official government figures.
Protesters have gathered en masse today, calling to end
routine traffic stop deaths.
After months of media hype and misinformation online, we aren't sure what to believe or what is actually true.
With a third of the valiant staff who work in these facilities falling victim to this plague.
Oh, I have passed a miserable night.
And hate the idle pleasures of these days.
Too well I feel the different plague of each calamity.
I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory.
I wasted time. And now doth time waste me.
That one might read the book of fate and see the revolution of the times make mountains level.
How can you say to me, I'm a king?
Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain.
'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her.
I have supped full with horrors.
Out, damn spot, out, I say. Oh, what portents are these?
Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like a toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head.
I think Crab, my dog, may be the sourest natured dog that lives.
If all the year were plain holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work.
Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown.
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus.
These are the forgeries of jealousy.
Oh, no man, no hate. Envy no man's happiness.
Tevrano, così familiare scene d'orrore agli occhi della gente.
We are such stuff as dreams are made on. And our little life is rounded with a sleep.
A merrier hour was never wasted.
All right, everyone, please give a big welcome to Sally from the Shakespeare Republic. Yay!
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm all right. Yes, here in Australia, I'm doing very well. How are you over there?
I mean, as good as I can be, all things considered.
Right. I feel a bit guilty, actually, coming from here, where we're doing rather well at the moment, or we've got an outbreak, but we're doing rather well at the moment. So, yeah, by comparison.
Yeah, I am hoping every day is the 21st, so that way we at least have someone competent as a president who can then handle.
Right. I know. It's kind of ludicrous. I know. It's yeah, but luckily things have going the way they are. That yes, it's going to be okay now. Hopefully from here on in, it'll be a bit of a longer haul, but a bit more of a positive one. So that's a good thing.
That's always good to remind myself of that.
Right. We've all been watching. Don't worry, you're not alone in holding your breath over that one. So.
So tell me a little bit about All the Web's Stage and the Shakespeare Republic.
Great. Okay. So, well, Shakespeare Republic is a web series that's been operating since 2015. So All the Web's Stage is the third season of the series. We did the first two seasons in the standard way that you would film with crew and cast all together on stage, on a set, on a location, which, we could do pre-COVID times. And then this third season, which is All the Web's Stage. So the actual full title is Shakespeare Republic, hashtag All the Web's Stage, brackets, The Lockdown Chronicles. So, just to have a really long title. But this one was different to the previous two in the sense that I decided back in March of 2020, which I can now say last year, yay, was looking at the fact that obviously the entire arts industry globally just shut down. We kind of all had to. And so I had nothing to do. I had two theatre shows that were supposed to go up that didn't happen. And I was supposed to be shooting another series that was an adjunct to the Shakespeare Republic main series, which again got put on hold. And I suddenly went, well, wait a sec. The way that what we do with Shakespeare Republic is we take Shakespeare soliloquies and monologues and we put them very firmly in the 21st century. And so it's one actor and it's talking to camera, as I'm doing right now, breaking the fourth wall. And I suddenly thought, well, that's actually a pretty good format for shooting through the internet. Is there a way that we could take that format and suddenly open the doors to international actors because it's the internet rather than working with actors that are here locally in Melbourne? And I thought, yeah, that's actually quite perfect. So let's see if we can do it. So I put a call out to, which I would invite actors in. This time I thought, well, we'll just throw the doors open and see who's interested. We got swamped, unsurprisingly, because so many actors were just nothing to do. But from all the various audition tapes that we got sent in, I selected 23 other actors. I'm the 24th actor in the ensemble. And we began rehearsing through Zoom. And then we worked out that they would film themselves on their smartphones while I directed them on a Zoom call on their laptops. So that's how we put the series together, which it took a fair amount of time and a lot of Zoom calling, which, I'm over Zoom. I'm kind of over Zoom. But right, there's just hours. I mean, and look, the thing is, the good part about it was because I didn't have 7 or 8 crews standing around on set with me waiting for things to happen with the filming, we could take our time, which was kind of good. And also rehearsals. I mean, I'd rehearsed some actors on Skype in the previous 2 seasons because they were interstate and not available to be actually in a rehearsal room with me. So that wasn't completely new to me. And I also teach Shakespeare and I'd been teaching that online as well. So that was kind of like, okay, well, that's not totally an unknown factor, but the filming part was quite interesting. So I had to build a whole technical Bible for all the actors because they were their own crew, of course. So that was 30 pages. How to do sound, how to do lighting, how to do a camera setup, what angles to use, things they could do with their smartphone, how to build a tripod, because it turned out not everyone had a tripod. You can build one out of newspaper, I discovered. I know, right? Crazy. But yeah, and they were brilliant, all 24 in total of actors, but they were just brilliant. They embraced it beautifully and they just did some absolutely astounding work, and I'm incredibly proud of all of them and really thrilled. So anyway, we did all that. We rehearsed. So rehearsal started late April after a month of pre-production, and then we went into obviously filming. We were doing it in blocks because there were so many of them, and we released the first lot of episodes on August 7th last year, and the last one was released on December 15, I think it was. So yeah, 24 in total. So that was done. That's what it is. That's what Shakespeare Republic is. It's essentially taking Shakespeare's work as written and his characters and moving them into the 21st century to just make it more relevant, more easily accessible for people. We call it bite-sized Shakespeare.
Great, awesome. Shakespeare Republic in general. I know it's to make it more accessible and understandable, of course, but like, what was the light bulb moment for creating this entire series?
Oh, that's a good question. So I grew up hating Shakespeare. I will just put it on the table. I hated Shakespeare. Yeah. Year 7, which is kind of first year of junior high in American terms, being handed Romeo and Juliet and being told to read it out loud when you're a dyslexic is not cool. And you tend to not do well. And it was humiliating and horrible. So I kind of had very bad associations of Shakespeare from that one little moment and said, I'll never do Shakespeare. I had already said I was going to be an actor, and I just said, you can do Shakespeare, you can be an actor without doing Shakespeare, that's fine. So that was my decision, age 12. I'm not doing any Shakespeare, I'll be fine. And then, of course, you get through high school and you then go, if I want to be an actor, maybe I should train. And maybe then I have to learn a Shakespeare piece for drama school auditions, which was fine. And I did. And I learned Sir, I Desire You Do Me Right and Justice, Queen Catherine from Henry VIII. And I got into drama school in London. And that was where it all shifted, was going into drama school in London and having an incredible Shakespeare teacher who demystified the process beautifully, Phil Peacock, I love you. And then also being handed the dissertation subject, Elizabethan theatre, which I just went, oh, wow, okay, well, that's just, you know, thanks. And then being told, well, you're living in the town that he lived and worked in, so why don't you just go retrace his footsteps and go and look at places like the pub he used to drink in, which there's still a pub sitting there that he would have drunk in, and the church he used to worship in, and the streets that he used to walk. And at the time, they were rebuilding the Globe Theatre. So they said, and go check out the Globe Theatre, because that was, you know, the place he did the plays. And for me, it was the melding of history with the modern world and saying, wow, it kind of still coexists. And he was also a real person. Oh, he was a real person. He wrote about real people, the people around him. It suddenly just started to make sense, all those elements. And at that point, I began to fully embrace Shakespeare, became born again Shakespearean. So, yeah, outspreading the good word now. But it was interesting. By the end of that process, I noticed other students in my year, I don't know, they were the same as me, I guess, in a way, and hadn't quite had the light bulb moment. And I thought, well, that's a shame, because it's so rich and it's such an interesting, so many interesting worlds that he's created and characters, and he's such a great observer of human nature. Maybe there's got to be some way that I can create something that invites people in that were the same as me, that might just get a little taste of how interesting this is if we remove as many barriers as we can to the work without changing the text. So I actually graduated, and again in my drama school, they did a huge amount of work on start creating your own work, start looking at how you can employ yourself, because the phone won't magically start ringing the minute you graduate, sadly. But and they were right. You know, it doesn't immediately start ringing. So I actually started doing a short film that I'd written, and we put that, which was not Shakespeare related, because I'm also a writer. So put that together, and it was while I was doing that someone said to me, oh, you should get a patron, because that's what we do here. And I thought, God, that's so funny. That's just like Shakespeare's time. It's something that still continues. You get patrons for theatre companies, and you get patrons for, in this case, I was saying for a film outfit. Why don't you do that? So anyway, I wrote to a various amount of actors and that also were producing or writing or involved in some way behind the scenes as well. And the person who wrote back to say to me that they might be interested was Sir Nigel Hawthorne. And he was, for those that don't know Sir Nigel, they might know, they'll know his face, not necessarily his name, but unless you're madly into theatre or into English television and film. But he played Sir Humphrey Appleby in Yes, Minister and Yes, Prime Minister. So, yeah, he's a beautiful comic, but also an incredibly experienced Shakespearean actor. He actually played Lear for the Royal Shakespeare Company the year before he died, which was a very interesting hybrid production with the RSC and a Japanese company. So, but he was hugely into Shakespeare. Anyway, I got talking to him and I said, look, I want to do this thing with Shakespeare. And I had the idea for Shakespeare Republic back then, and we're going back a long time ago now. And he said to me, because he passed away sadly in 2001, and he said to me, great idea, I just don't know where there'd be a home for that. And I said, no, I don't think there is a home for it. So it got shelved. And then web series came around as a thing. And I was thinking, oh, I'd like to get involved in this new medium, but I don't know what idea I have. And then I went, oh yeah, that Shakespeare idea, that's perfect. That will fit beautifully. And so and it was coming up to the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death. And I thought, well, let's see what happens. So it's called The Experiment for this reason as well, because we had no idea how it was going to go and how it was going to be received. But that's kind of how it came to be. The actual idea of it had started, 20 odd years prior, nearly, and 15 at least. And then it was finally getting the technology in place for the broadcast medium that was like, oh, of course. And it's an anthology series. That's how that would work. So yeah, so that's how it all came together. Through, as everything does, ideas have usually a long osmosis period, and this one definitely did. But I like to think Nigel would think it was cool what we've done, and sadly he didn't live to see it. But I think he would find it kind of fun that we've done this. But yeah, that was where it all came from.
Amazing! That is fascinating. I love that story. Oh my god. this newest season is different because it had to be. Is there anything that came up throughout that you weren't expecting to either be a hurdle that you had to jump across or actually turn out better than expected, possibly?
Yeah, it was interesting. So one of the big things, it was actually a technical issue more than anything. I mean, the actors, I have a rule when I'm casting that an actor doesn't actually have to be a Shakespearean actor to be involved in Shakespeare Republic, because it's a part of, again, my philosophy that you just need to be a really strong actor. And as far as language and context and things, that's something we can work on. That's no problem. I'm very happy to guide people through that. And all I need to know is that they're good at their homework and that they can deliver. So that element was not a major issue, although we did have a lot more Shakespearean actors involved this time than we've had in the past. But what was really, it was the technical aspect, which was, oh yeah, they're all shooting on different smartphones. And not all of them are really good at lighting, which is fine because they just didn't happen to have, you know, a ring light or softbox lights or anything. So we kind of started looking at the footage and went, oh, it's all looking wildly different. And even though it's an anthology series and these characters are technically in their own spaces, and obviously very much so in this season because of the lockdown element, because it's all Shakespeare characters in lockdown, we still have a consistency to the look. And so I had a long chat with my colorist, the Nasi, who is amazing. And I said to him, look, I'm really tempted to go black and white. Normally we'd be full color. I said, but I kind of it's actually an artistic choice because this feels like a time capsule piece. It's of its time. And therefore the idea of an archive kind of look sort of I was already talking about, do we do it in sort of slightly muted colors and all that kind of stuff? And I said, what if we just go straight black and white? That solves the technical issue of the different lighting levels and things like that. But it also plays into that artistic idea that this is a archive piece. This is a historical piece. This is our history using works that were written 400 years earlier. This is, you know, the meeting of history. Which the Nasi, bless him, went, great idea. Because I think he was going, I don't know how to match this. This is great. Like, it's wildly different. And so he created a color grade. So it is all color graded. People say, oh, black and white. No, it's color graded. It is actually color graded. He created a grade that then we applied to all the episodes and obviously just tweaked as we required with each look. So that was something that I initially, in my head, I thought this will really work, but I just didn't know if it actually would. And what's interesting is that now that it's been out on the festival circuit and obviously been released, so it's been on the International Film Festival circuit and also released, the one comment I keep getting back is, oh, it was inspired to go black and white. Just like, thank you, good. I'm so glad that worked. That's a really good thing. But it's interesting because, again, back in the day, we used to only have black and white headshots for actors. And it was a thing where people felt you saw the person more truthfully in black and white. You weren't distracted by hair color or eye color, or you just saw the person. And so it was interesting because I think that's actually what happened here as well. I think you get almost more drawn into the actors in the black and white color for this than if we had all the distraction of, you know, the backgrounds, the colors. I don't know, you just seem to focus more in on the actors. So I think it's also served the actors, which is really great, which I'm really pleased about. So that was the big one for me was, yeah, the color choice, color or black and white. And I'm glad we went black and white because I think it just gives it that, it stamps it as a sort of separate kind of series, but still makes it feel like it's part of the greater whole of the series. And it makes it feel like archive, which is kind of good for, you know, and correct, I guess. It was an unprecedented, gotta get that word right, unprecedented year. So, you know, to have that done that way, I think it really worked. So that was good. There's plenty more, but that's the big one.
So this is something I ask all of my guests on the show, and it's those things that you always talk about, like in like the first meeting or like at a cast party or something, that we have like these bonding moments, these on-stage horror stories. We all have them. We all have so many things. One of mine that I have talked about on this show before, but I'm going to talk about it again right now, is I was in middle school. I was in a really bad parody production of The Addams Family, and I had not a lick of improvisation like talent in my bones at all. And there was one point where me and the Gomez character, I was playing Morticia because I was a giant with a long dark hair, we were left on stage together, and the person who was supposed to enter didn't show up. And we had no idea what to do. I was like 11. I had no idea what was going on. He was 2 years younger than me. It was a whole situation. So we were like, we just got like really weird, and we started like making fun of like the other characters in the show because they were all so uptight, la la la. And it got like a weird amount of appreciative laughter from the audience, mostly because like, oh, these are kids fixing something, good on them. But the girl who was late decided that she really liked what we did, so she kept purposefully then being later and later and later as the performances went on. And like by the last performance, we could like lightly hear a struggle backstage as they were trying to get her on stage, and that just seared in my memory of like being forced head first into some improv territory because someone just really liked what we did that day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, that sounds like a horror story. Perfect for the kind of genre you were doing, but man, no.
So do you have any onstage horror stories?
Oh gosh, I think we probably all do. So I began in musical theatre, and look, most of it came from pranks that went wrong. People that prank. I mean, you know, okay. There's usually always one in a cast. Normally, they're relatively restrained and they keep it to rehearsals and, you know, maybe tech run. But I do. Yeah, I won't because I'll end up naming names and I'll get in trouble. But there was one that wasn't prank related that I remember from musical theatre where we were doing My Fair Lady, and I don't know how it happened because it was all pretty sturdy set work, but in the middle of, which song was it? Might have been We're All Going to the Races. But anyway, the back part of the set started to slowly topple towards the cast. And yeah, there was a couple of people who went, okay, noticed it, but couldn't move because if they had, they would have moved out of their light and there would have been problems. So the only one who could do anything was Colonel Pickering, I think, who had a follow spot. So he actually went to the back of the stage and leaned up against the set casually and just kept singing his stuff and doing his thing, holding the set up while the crew were frantically behind stage trying to pull it back up again and right it. So that was a near disaster that didn't quite happen. Which was that was, and all of us by that stage had become aware, because you know that weird thing where there's a ripple of awareness and you all suddenly clock on even without seeing something is not right and quite seriously wrong. And so people were trying to not look over their shoulder, just keep on going, but we all knew something massive was happening behind us, and those nearest obviously saw the wall coming down. So it was funny because apparently we didn't see it because I mean I was at front, but he was leaning up against the wall, and apparently 3 or 4 of the chorus ended up joining him. I don't know what it would have looked like to the audience, but that's what they were doing, trying to save the set. But what was interesting is the audience obviously clicked it as well, because it must have been obvious that set was time to topple. So that number in the middle of it, when he was leaning and then the set suddenly lifted itself back up again because the crew pulled it back, suddenly we got this burst of applause. Oh my God, they've all been watching the back of the set the whole time. No matter what we've been doing at the front, it's irrelevant. It's what's going on behind us that has got their attention, which is always the way. So that was a near disaster horror story that didn't quite happen. There's one that I know about Shakespeare that didn't happen to me, but it actually happened to a friend of mine who's a stage manager. And they were she was doing a production of Romeo and Juliet at, I think she was doing it in one of the final year performances at one of the drama schools over here. And so I'm trying to remember which one it was now. So she's backstage, obviously trying to run everything as you do as stage manager. And they'd had problems with Romeo missing a cue on the scene with the friar when he's given all the information about what's happened with Juliet right towards the end. And they kept saying to him, why are you missing the cue? Don't miss the cue. You've got to be on stage. He's like, no, sorry. It's a costume change thing, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, don't change the costume. Just be on stage. He's like, okay. So anyway, this one night, I think it was the last night, they get to the scene, the friar's on stage waiting for him, and he just doesn't show up. And so the friar's there ready to go, Juliet she's pretending she's dead. She's not really dead. You need to go. Anyway, not there. So this guy who plays the friar ends up ad-libbing, essentially, improvising Shakespeare, both dialogue as a monologue, to try and, I will now go find Romeo and using Shakespearean language and tell him, and just, apparently managed to do a very long monologue scene because Romeo just didn't show at all and they had no idea where he was. Anyway, he got through it all. And apparently the audience afterwards thought that it was supposed to be that way and said what an incredibly interesting adaptation and how clever was it and blah, blah, blah. Totally down to this actor who had just ad-libbed. Of course, the problem was this actor actually knew why Romeo was always late. It was the fact that Romeo would sneak out the back and have a cigarette just before that scene. And he got locked out. that performance, he got locked out and couldn't get back in. So the guy playing the friar apparently went straight outside, opened the door, and there's Romeo standing there, going, "Oh, sorry, mate." And apparently the friar did punch him. So he was not happy. He was not happy that he'd had to ad-lib on his feet like that in Shakespeare. When I say punch him, it probably wasn't a full-on punch, but he was not happy. So that was a horror Shakespeare story. And to be honest, no matter how well-versed you are in Shakespeare, that would be horrific. I would pure adrenaline. I wouldn't remember anything, as I don't think he did, because it would just be full-on. But the audience loved it. So, as long as the audience don't know, you're all good.
There you go.
Similar to your story, I suspect. That's hilarious.
Oh, how worlds collide.
Right. Yes, there are probably more, but I think that's plenty. It's so funny. If you're in the industry long enough, as you know, you start to get a lot of war stories. But they're the safe ones that I can tell.
Is there anything else that you would like the audience at home to know about your series this season or as a whole?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Look, I think probably the best thing to do is tell them where to find it. So you can...
We're going to post a link in the comments too, and we're going to scroll it at the bottom, but please say it out loud.
You're amazing. Absolutely. So, okay. So the best place to go is shakespearerepublic.com. Which covers all of the work we're doing, and also the other one for the current season, that's the Lockdown Chronicles, is allthewebsastage.com. So it's all the webs a stage, not all the worlds. Being clear. But I guess what else do I want people to know? Well, I think it's the Shakespeare Republic universe, as we now call it, is sort of expanding. So if they want to see, we've got Shakespeare Republic seasons 1 and 2 available through the shakespearerepublic.com site. There's a link there. It's actually been picked up by Australian streaming service Ozflix. So they can click on that and go straight to the Ozflix site and watch that. Yeah, which is kind of cool. And season 3 at this point is streaming on Facebook, but we are in conversations with another broadcaster. So that'll be cool if that comes together. Fingers crossed that all happens. We'll see. And I guess what else? Oh, we've also got it is available if it's a pay-per-view thing, but we do have a short film called Speaking Daggers, which is part of the Shakespeare Republic universe, which actually has quite a few of the cast from season 2 involved. And that's set in a Melbourne cafe. So the tagline for that is 8 Shakespeare characters in one cafe, and there's not part of that thing. 8 Shakespeare characters, 6 plays, I think, in one cafe. So it's actually an 11-minute film, and it takes 4 pairs or four groups of Shakespeare characters, and it puts them in a cafe, and it's overheard conversations. So it's called Love and Revenge Over Coffee and Cakes is the other tagline. So that was kind of fun to do, and that was done for the Independent Schools Victoria. So we're currently working on a curriculum program for Victorian schools, of bringing that into the school system, which is kind of exciting to help students of Shakespeare. I mean, the big thing about this whole project was to be able to, as I said, bring people to Shakespeare that might not normally engage with it. What's been really interesting is the amount of teachers that have been using Shakespeare Republic in the classroom, which we keep getting emails going, "Oh, I've been using this, it's great," because it's kind of entry into the worlds through these characters. Again, kids are relating to it quite strongly because it's clearly in the modern era that they're set, and they suddenly go, "Oh, of course." So Hamlet could easily be the modern equivalent of Hamlet. Works for them. We've also had, we had 3 Hamlets so far, with 3 different Hamlet speeches, 2 female and 1 male. So we also gender swap all the time because why wouldn't you? And it also really helps to sort of see, I think, people play a role that's written for one gender, from another gender, because it actually can sometimes free up text and you hear things slightly differently that you may not have heard before. So that really helps too. But yeah, so there's a lot more in the Shakespeare universe to come and already out there. We also have a live show called This Wouldn't O, which I'm working on this year. So big conversations around whether that goes online as well or not. We're not sure, but we're thinking we probably will. It's been really interesting, actually. I've got to say, working with this technology in 2020, as limiting as it's been for a lot of people, it really has kind of opened the door, I think, for us to look at how can we incorporate that going forward. Is there a way that we could keep doing that? Because the fact that we can reach, more audiences, work with different actors that aren't actually based in our country, it's kind of exciting, and it's sort of, there's a lot to be explored, I think, in that now, as to how that could be used, either as an adjunct or as a fully, full delivery system for work. So This Wouldn't Know was always intended to be a live theatre show, and it's was immersive promenade theatre. And now it's like, can we actually take that and put it online? So that's the current conversation. And Dark Arcadia, which is a mini Shakespeare series, which I'm hoping I get to film sometime this year. It involves about 25 school-age students. So I'm like, COVID safe, can't have them on set right now. But once that's cleared up here, which, we're doing sort of reasonably okay, hopefully get that one done. So you'll find all of that stuff on the Shakespeare Republic website, all the links to all those pieces. But I think really all I just want to say is, just come in with an open mind and, come into the world and just explore it. The good thing about this series is you can just dip in and out, so you don't have to start at a spot and finish at a spot. You can jump in halfway through, and because they're all individual pieces, they kind of meld together, but they're individual pieces. So yeah, just come and have a play in the world. And we've also got a Patreon as well, if people want to sign up for that, which has got lots of behind the scenes stuff, and we're building up. We're actually going to start our own podcast for our Patreon people, so it's kind of fun being here. This is research, great. But yeah, that's what we're doing that as well. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, I think. But I think just want to say, people come and have a play, and yeah, I'm really hoping that we get to do all the other things we want to do this year, because we've found, especially working with actors overseas, it's just opened up so many options for us going forward. In fact, you've interviewed the lovely people, Rob and Sarah from Show Must Go Online. They are actually, and so is Dominic Brewer, and so is Miguel Perez, and so is Yolanda Ovid, and Leo Atkin, and Mark McMinn, and Danielle Farrow. I kind of, a lot of those guys are actually in season 3 of Shakespeare Republic. So you'll see some familiar faces if you've been watching The Show Must Go Online as well. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. I'll feel terrible if I have, because I'm also a part of that company as well from last year. So I got to be involved with them too. So yeah, I just kind of went, oh, do you want to come and play with my stuff now? And they all did. So it was great.
Hey. Oh my God, you have so many things going on. It's all amazing, wonderful. And that can all be found on the Shakespeare Republic website. Yes, yay. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate all of the work that you've been putting out. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a joy. Thank you for inviting me to come and have a chat, and it's been so lovely to meet you. You take very good care over there. Look after yourself.
Thank you so much, and yay! I hope everything gets better soon.
It will. It will. Just keep the faith. It will. We will come out of this. Nothing lasts forever, thank goodness. Yeah. In this.
All right. Well, we have one more trailer to show you before this whole show ends. But again, thank you so much for Sally for coming on. Yay!
If we actors have offended, put this in hope it's meant.
That you've had a nightmare for all these horrors that appear.
And this week in idle play, no more yielding in the day.
And molest, if we be friends. Or else, you can kiss our rear ends.
So yeah, just kidding. That's going to be the 18th. That was not the 16th. Just kidding. We have a banner that says just kidding. That's the 18th. Yay. Yeah. So that show, due to some technical difficulties, is going to be tomorrow. Again, as we mentioned way at the beginning of the show, that's actually going to be on our Hudson Rockford's birthday, Dylan Herbig, who was the first person in that little trailer. So it's still technically a birthday celebration show. Also, it's not far after my birthday, so who cares? Next week, we have Romeo and Juliet virtually coming on, so that's going to be such a fun time. Yay. Please tune in for that. We're going to get ready for the Romeo and Juliet vibes of February that's going to be coming up. So excited. Also, please, again, check out the link tree. You'll see, you can rewatch Friday's show, the Mime Show. You can get links to the free access to the other shows that I'm doing coming up. And you can vote for me as Screen Manager of the Year. Yay, awesome. I'm going to make some more cupcakes. Bye.